What's up, family? Welcome everybody to another interview, Melanated Fathers TV, the Melanated Convo Podcast interview series. I got an interview today with my boy D. Mosley, who is a chef. My first time actually talking to a chef, or interviewing a chef, rather. So I'm interviewing my boy D. Mosley. He was a runner-up in a contest recently, a favorite chef contest. I think it was put on by Fox 40 or one of those news stations, something like that. So we're going to talk to the brother about, you know how we do it. We're going to talk about his childhood a little bit. We're going to talk about his love for cooking. We're going to talk about his catering business. We're going to talk about fatherhood, you know what I mean? We're going to get into all that. Let's get it going. We're going to give it a second here, wait for my brother to come on the show. Oh, we did another episode of Melanated Convo Podcast today. I'll be posting it tomorrow, where we talked about, a lot of the recent deaths. The 16-year-old sister who got killed, Makia Bryant. We talked about there was 9 young people who got shot in Louisiana, like between the ages of 12 and 17. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a 7-year-old girl, family, Jalen Adams, who got killed in Chicago. You feel me? So we talked about all that. Topic of the show was discussing social media, the influence social media and the internet has over our children. How, I was going into how we would be the same way to a degree, you know what I mean, when we were kids. So that'll be released on tomorrow's show of the Melanated Convo Podcast. This is the interview series that I do. And again, we are waiting for my brother D. Mosley, who is a chef, pretty good damn chef. And we're going to talk to him about his passion for cooking. Of course, because of my platform, we're going to talk to him about a little bit about fatherhood. We're going to talk about his cooking classes. The brother got like cooking classes that he do online for all the sisters out there who can't burn the way your mama can, you feel me? Or even dudes. A lot of men, most men cook, you know what I mean? So you can learn some tricks of the trade from D. Oh, and I want y'all to see this book. This is a book that I talked about on my show today, but it's called I Know My Rights. It's by My Son. If you guys know My Son, he's a rapper, community activist. Get your kids this book. Even though the system don't be giving us our rights the way they should, this book is about the Bill of Rights, you know what I mean? This book is about the Bill of Rights, and it goes into detail about the Bill of Rights, but it talks about them in a really fun manner. So all of our kids should be reading something, especially things like this. In the times that we're living in, you shouldn't have a melanated child that doesn't have a grasp for who they are in this world, or who they are in this country, rather. So this is a really good book for children, you know what I mean? Even if you got like a baby that's 2 or 3, read them this thing. I Know My Rights, Bill of Rights by My Son, the community activist and entertainer My Son. So we're waiting on my boy D to come into the room here. Let me hit him real quick and see what's going on. I see everybody been on the internet talking about the Derek Chauvin decision, about how he was charged. Now we're waiting to see what kind of time they're gonna hit him with, you know what I mean? And it's too early to celebrate, family, because you know what I mean, he needs to get, in my opinion, 20 years plus. If you get 10 years, 7 years, 8 years, all this shit, with time served, he'd be out in like 5. So that's not impactful enough. Like, for what we had to watch on camera, he should get thrown under the goddamn jail. So let's see what kind of time he actually gets. Let me see if the brother is ready. Let me see if the brother is ready. So yeah, and it's a trip because even though we saw what we saw in that video, oh, hold on. Here he come now. Boom, 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 boom. All right, D, come on over here, brother, so I can get you in here. Let me see, where's my questions at? Right there. Right there. All right, I'm waiting for the brother D. Mosley, chef extraordinaire, business owner. You feel me? He has a catering company. I think he has either sauces or spices that he makes. I'm going to clarify with him once he comes on which one it actually is. But this is a brother I've been knowing for a while. Really good spirited dude. He was just on a competition called, I think, Favorite Chef, and he didn't win, unfortunately, but we still going to talk about his experience, and you know what I mean, what he learned from it, how cool it was or wasn't, you know what I mean. So we just going to chop it up with the brother, man. That's what it's about, y'all. We need to, when we see people, wait, where you at? Where you at, D? You got to come on my live. You got to, let me see here. Hold on, let me see something. 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 There it goes. You got to. All right, come on. We gonna get him now. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go, D. Let's see here. Let's see. Guess add. Yes. Okay. Bring it now, brother. Bringing you on camera right now. He clears some stuff out. Get my little questions popping. All right, man. Hold on. It's trying to add you now, D. It's trying to add you now, player.
Oh, I got you. My brother.
There we go. There we go.
How you doing, my brother? How you doing? Sorry, man.
It's all good, man. How you doing?
Good. Blessed like always, my brother.
Uh-huh. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. So like I was just telling everybody, I was going to talk to you today about that competition you was just in.
Okay.
I know that you've been doing the cooking classes. I know that you got your catering business popping. So we're going to get into all of that. But first things first, like I always do on my platform, for people, because I want people to get an understanding of what you do. So when they need something catered or they need a cooking lesson or anything, I want them to be able to come to you. So we're going to introduce them to all the stuff you do. But on my platform, I always like to touch on like somebody's journey, like where you come from and your parenting and fatherhood and all that, you know what I mean? Because
Okay.
my platform is really based on fatherhood. I wrap it all up with politics and all the shit I be talking, but primarily it's about understanding that we need our fathers in our life. We need men in our community that's doing the right thing, right? So some of these
Absolutely.
questions I know about you already, but for my audience, I'm gonna make sure that we get to it. Now, everybody watching this on YouTube, when I put it on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my Melanated Fathers TV YouTube channel. If you listen to this on one of the digital platforms like Apple Podcasts or Overcast or Google Podcasts, all these different things, please leave a review on the digital platforms. That affects the algorithms in a positive manner. So do that for your boy. So let's get into it, D. Now, tell everybody where you from, family.
I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. Originated out of Elwood, Mississippi. I'm from Mississippi.
Okay. And how long you been in California?
I've been in California 16 years.
16
3
years,
months.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, my family is from New Orleans, so I have a um like a general understanding of like the different temperament of the people in the South. Like they're
Yeah.
different than California people. It's a little slower, they hella nicer, they're giving, like it's a family type of environment that's always created every time I've been there. Talk to me about
Absolutely.
your experience. Like what do you think is the difference between California and just being a boy from like the southern states?
Oh wow, man. Oh, okay. The South is more hospitality. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's more yes ma'am and no ma'am. It's more of respect level there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here in Cali, I had a funny experience when I first made it here. I was standing in the store and I was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I get behind you?" And she just snapped me off like, "Don't call me ma'am. Who you think I am?" And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." So, so it's just a little different, Not saying one better than the other. It just
Mm-hmm.
back home with everything used to go on. Our parents and grandparents and our big mamas, they raised us to be very respectable no matter where you go.
Yep.
Respect is big. As long as you have respect, then you really don't have to worry about nothing, to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
So respect always been big. I live on respect. I don't believe in disrespecting no one, no matter what the circumstances. So yeah, respect is big. They taught us just how to be respectable. If you didn't be respectable, then Big Mama dealt with you,
Mm-hmm.
or my grandma dealt with you. But it's totally different than here. Like kids knew where to stand. When grown people talk, kids don't talk. When the
Mm-hmm.
phone
Mm-hmm.
rings, or if you see us talking to somebody, you don't touch, don't say nothing. You be seen, not heard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a totally different, but that what kept us out of trouble. That would discipline us, kept us disciplined. They kept us from knowing what type of environment we're in, and like just hush, don't say nothing, just sit still,
Mm-hmm.
don't
Mm-hmm.
talk. Like that sometimes kept me out of a lot of trouble. Like just don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm. Now, talk to me about your upbringing. Like, were you raised with your mom and your dad?
No, no. My grandparents raised me. My grandma raised me.
Mm.
My
Okay.
it was a little different in the South than it is. Like we all took a struggle back in the early '90s, and it just whatever when you come in poverty, not really having dad, wish they was there, but they wasn't there.
Mm.
Took us to the farm and showed us how to work. Basically, it was free labor, but it gave us a working environment, right? It taught us how to go and get what we want. Like you didn't do this here, you didn't eat tonight, or basically you ain't eating what you wanna.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
my grandparents raised me. Like I was raised down in a country town, maybe a couple thousand people, but
Mm.
that's where I was raised at, where we had to get it the hard way.
Yeah,
You know,
and it seems like with those smaller towns, because I was going to ask you, like, just figuring out the dynamics of somebody's childhood that really tells a story about who they are. But it seems like in those small southern towns, even if you don't have a mom or a dad around, like everybody looks out for everybody anyways, right?
a village was raise you. The whole town will raise you. You messing up on one side, oh trust me, it's gonna get back over there to the other side real fast, and you in
Mm-hmm.
trouble. Or when I was coming up, the neighbor will pop your butt and then take you home, and then you get another one. That's where I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
Little things to change a little more, but just coming from little small towns, not really having nothing, it taught you how to appreciate everything.
Definitely.
Like the littlest things, like the littlest thing is taught you how to appreciate it. Like even down to the meals, we weren't rich, we were very poor, but rice and grits and oatmeal, like there was breakfast of champions, like sugar breads and stuff, just country stuff, but
Uh-huh.
hey, it taught us how to appreciate when we did get good stuff.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
knew how to take care of it. So I think that's a little different. We didn't have
Hmm.
that luxury.
Definitely. Now, one more question about that. Like you said, your parents were young and your grandma raised you, which happens to a lot of us. Did you ever end up having like a relationship with your mom or your dad?
Yeah, I still have a relationship with my mom and my dad. My mom, loving, the most wonderful woman ever, but Joe was young. She had me at 16. My dad was
Mm.
19. So kids having kids, it ain't
Yep.
nothing changed. Like it still
Yeah.
happens.
It's definitely.
But
Yep.
what was so crazy, what was a blessing was my grandma stepped in. My aunties them stepped in. Like people stepped in and took us in. They probably didn't want to, but hey, they don't leave us by the wayside. Like
That's
I
how it
think that
was.
was a
Yeah.
blessing. Yes.
Definitely.
Or
Definitely.
I had a best friend. His mom took me in and wanted to keep me and fed me and did everything for me just like I was hers. So
Mm.
it was always a village. There was always somebody there for you when you needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the police chief, he ran the baseball team. Didn't have the
Mm.
money for it, but we went and washed cars and got where we need to be. Fundraisers, whatever. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was it was always something positive in a negative environment at all times. Trying to
Definitely.
keep your mind off that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that's how it should be because just like you said, a lot of us is still doing the same thing. Like a lot of us is still having kids out of wedlock and having kids at a young age. But I remember when my family, because my entire family is from New Orleans, and I remember as soon as everybody got here in like the 80s, we stopped having family reunions. Everybody
Yep.
stopped gathering together. Like this, the West Coast kind of fucked my family up a little bit because when
No,
they was there,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? When they was there, everything was unified. Everybody took care of everybody. And coming out west, it's just different out here. You know what I mean?
Because basically every Sunday we got together. Every
Mm-hmm.
Sunday we got together, big old meal. We ain't have to worry
Yep.
about if you didn't eat no other good day. Sunday was the day you gonna eat good.
Yep.
Everything. I mean, everything you could think of. That's where it went down. We barbecued. Everybody always got together, but we made sure that we seen each other on a daily basis or a weekly basis.
Yep.
We didn't go weeks or months or this and that. And then if we had family out of town, they made sure they flew in every year around the 4th of July just to come and hang out and kick it.
Mm-hmm. That's important right there. And
No, that's
again,
very important.
and that's something that we have gotten away from. Like my girl has a funeral home, and one of the biggest things I see is when people are meeting at these funerals, all of them are saying the same thing. We need to stop meeting up like this. We need to get together more. I'm tired of seeing y'all only when it's funerals. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that's
That's
very
something that our
important.
community struggle with.
Yes, I think that's very important because of we get so caught up in life versus family. We get so
Yeah.
caught up on that dollar bill, but
Yeah.
not knowing that we could get money anytime, but you can't get another life. You can't get another cousin. You can't get another grandma. I think that's very important to once a year or twice, a couple of times a year to go and visit your family. I think that's very important for everybody to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about your fatherhood journey real quick. How many kids do you have again?
I have 5 kids.
Just like me, five, just like me. Okay. So talk to me about that overall experience because I know how, because I had my first sons at 17. So I know how from then into now, just how much parenting has shaped me and like all the stuff I've learned about them, but all the stuff I learned about myself too. So talk to me about that. Like, what are some of the things you've learned about yourself, or like how have your kids changed you in a good way?
Well, they have show taught me patience.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely taught me patience. But what's so crazy is about my babies is I had my first kid at 17,
Mm-hmm.
just turned 18. and then I had my second, two and three, the second and third kid by two different ladies. We don't get into that, whatever. The same year, they was a month apart, right? But that was a knucklehead. Because I didn't have a fatherhood to teach me better. I didn't have nobody to really teach me or show me better. I basically did what I knew. What I was like, okay, this is fun, whatever. And after I got all of that together and found my wife, now I kind of knew. And then that was a struggle, because I was still young, Bucky, like, yeah. But these kids have showed me how to be, made me who I am. They made me who they kind of like a reality check. Like a reality check, honesty. You have to be straightforward with them because they trust me. They're gonna call you out. They're gonna call you out. They're gonna check you now in a way that you're like, you don't talk to me like that, but you sure telling the truth though. Like just being straight up. Like, hey, like don't disrespect, but I understand where you're coming from. As a dad and as a son, I had the same feeling. So it made me realize that I have to put my feet to the fire and get to where I need to be for them.
Yeah,
I have to get to where I need to be.
I
have to be honest with them. I cannot lie to them. I can't sugarcoat it. I have to put myself in position so they can have something to look at. Not just that dad that's doing whatever he want to do, and then when they ask for something, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. I mean, is it a struggle with them? Yes. They do. Do they think money grow on trees? Yes. Do they think that every time you ask for something, you get it? Yes. But I do my best. I give them advice. I show them how to hustle for getting what you want. I tell them go and get an education, but you take that education and turn it into entrepreneurship. You want to be your own boss, because that's something we wasn't taught. We were taught, get an education, go to work, retire. Yes.
Yep.
But I'm showing them a different avenues. I'm showing them a different way. I was like, man, I'm a country boy, came up with nothing. And I have came out here and started a business, been working, had my feet to the grind since I've been here. In Sacramento and California, been good to me and my family. You could do the same thing. No matter where you at, no matter what the circumstance is, if you want something bad enough, pray and go for what you know, man. And don't let nobody tell you nothing different, And that was the hard part for me, because I always used to doubt myself because I haven't never had nobody to push me. Like, oh, should I do this? No, that don't work. Oh, should I do this? No, people gonna talk about me.
Yeah.
And then the older that I have gotten, I was like, man, forget it. I don't care what nobody said, man. We just gonna do this. Like, this is what it is. This is what it is. And so that's the same motivation I give them. I talk to them every day. I'm a grandfather. I'm a grandfather of a pretty little girl that I love and dear and help take care of too, same way I was taken care of. But I show them, no matter what the circumstances, there's always a way out, or make the circumstances better than what it is.
There you go. And it's so funny because my situation is very similar. I had my first two sons when I was 17, about to be 18. I had two more kids, maybe 2 or 3 years later, and I just had to come to grips with what I didn't know. Like just being raised by my mom. Now I can say it, but there were times where I was acting like my mama.
Yes, I caught myself being like my grandparents and my clothes, my refrigerators don't, you take stuff for granted, but they didn't know, man. You know what I mean? So I get it. Yeah, I respect that.
Yep. So if you embrace fatherhood, it'll teach you a lot, because I commend you, because a lot of dudes in our community, when they get that uncomfortable feeling where they don't know what to do or they don't have money, the easiest thing is to leave. That's the easiest thing. The easiest thing is to leave, come back when they 18 and have that sob story about I didn't have money and I didn't know what to do. So, and I told myself early on, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna sit, y'all gonna watch me grow, y'all gonna watch me struggle, and we're gonna do all this shit together. You know what I mean?
So, you know what? That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna struggle together. We're gonna get mad together. We're gonna be happy together. But I'm not fit to leave y'all because I knew I had questions at a certain age, and I knew
Yep.
it wasn't about the money. I was seeking something different from a
Yeah.
father figure that I didn't have, just advice, and I didn't have that. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
the streets taught me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but for them, I was like, man, we in it together. I didn't pick you, you didn't pick me, but we in it together. You know, God just gave you. God gave both of us to each other. So this is what it is, man. We figure it out.
That's
But
you're right though.
But I always been 100% honest with them. I didn't never sugarcoat it. I never lied to them. I always told them the
Mm-hmm.
truth. I told them
Mm-hmm.
who I was. I told them what I was. I told them what I was doing. I never lied to them. I always want, because I feel like if you leave a channel open with them, they always will be honest with you. And I leave that. I tell me the truth, because I can help the truth. I can't help a lie. Tell me the truth.
Man, ain't that the truth? Tell me the truth because I can't help a lie. You're damn right. And I think over time they become like they begin to respect you because see, I didn't want to not be there for my kids when they were younger, and then when they were older, they wouldn't listen to me. Because some parents like to step in late in life, like go wash them dishes. Like, nigga, you ain't been here. I ain't
Exactly.
washing nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But one thing about the beautiful thing about my wife, she always made me she pushed me towards my babies. She made sure
Mm-hmm.
I did not forget them babies. She made sure that them babies is mine and we fit to be there for them babies, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what. They grown 23, 20, but she is there. She always been there, and she holds me accountable behind stuff. They'll be like,
Mm.
oh, we need to do this here. I'm like, man, I ain't got no money for that. And she'll be like, no, let's see what we could do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know. And the older that I have gotten since I hit my 30s and 40s now, it's like I understand now. Because
Mm.
coming not having it, not having mom and dad in your life, and then you trying to parent, man, it's hard. Cause
Yeah.
like because you didn't know the decision they made because you was on your own. Like you know, like
Yep.
how can I handle this? But
Mm-hmm.
she was always been there to make sure that I did what I supposed to do. And once I started realizing it at a young age, and the older I got, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's get this cracking. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. You know.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then with all the other my brothers and them around me, from you, all my other brothers and them, Toby and them, all them guys, having their kids in their lives and learning the same, you know, growing the same. We all going through the same thing.
Yep.
It helped me a little more, you know. Just a little
Mm-hmm.
iron sharpen irons, you know. Like we didn't
Yeah.
talk
Definitely.
daily, but we seen interactions with our babies. We seen each other interact with our families. Like, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And
that you know, make it a little
yep.
easier.
Yeah. That's important, and it's important that you mentioned too, like having a good support system, like having a woman that call you on your shit. Like that's the important factor. Like having
Yeah.
anybody around you who just agree with whatever you say, and that's not gonna benefit you. You need somebody to be like, nah, that wasn't right. Do it this way. You know what I mean?
Yep. And she definitely would call me out on it now. She definitely called me. She'll let me know fair and square. So that's another thing that kept me honest. You know, kept me on my toes. Like, okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. You know, she always had that other view. I only see it
Yeah.
from grandma and them view. Like, nah, we ain't getting that. What's wrong with you? That's expensive like crazy. Babe, we can afford that. All right, all right, all right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You know, just being, you know, just straight up.
Uh-huh.
But it have been good though, you know. Like I think my 40s been the best thing that ever could happen to me.
Hmm.
Entering into 40 been good to me. Like it let me know who I am. It made me who I am. It showed me who I was. Showed me my purpose. Showed me what I
That's
need to
dope.
do to stay strong and keep pushing. And hey, we all in it together, you know. Good
Yep.
friends, good family, you know. So I think that's a big key too, you know.
Yeah, and I always tell a lot of black men, like this society does so much to us, it grows us up so fast, and some dudes don't come back from their mistakes, whether it be jail, whether it be death. But most dudes I know, if you allow him to live long enough, he gonna figure it out.
Yes,
if he
yes,
if he's you know what I mean, if he stay on the street, if he stay going the same path, sooner or later he'll figure it out as far as the because having a family in the house when you never had a family in the house, it could be intimidating because you're supposed to be the man, you're supposed to be the leader, and you ain't never seen it done before. You know what I
no,
mean?
bro. I'm gonna tell you, like having this the last 16 years, it been a journey, but it been a blessing
Mm-hmm.
because I'm looking like all the kids running to mama like they run to mama like mama, mama. Mama be like, Dad, they're going to talk to Dad. I'm looking around like, but over time, it have gotten better. They'll come to me be like, Dad, could I go and do this, Dad? Or they like, I have a 16-year-old daughter that come and talk to me about everything. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
that's big for me. I got a 10-year-old baby that come and talk to me about everything. That's big for me. My oldest kids talk to me about everything because I always been that dad. Was like, man, you talk to me about anything. What's up? No matter how mad I get or if I disagree, I want you to be able to talk to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think communication is big in families.
Yes.
Then you don't get no surprises.
There you
You
go.
know, you don't get no surprises later down the road. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what it is, come and talk to me about it. If I don't like it, so well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
get it off your chest. You know, let's come up with a solution.
And that's good that you create that line of communication because sometimes, like you were saying earlier, me even having southern roots, I was kind of raised where I'm talking, you shut up, you just let me talk. And then somebody had to tell me that's not gonna work. He ain't gonna want to talk to your ass if you don't let him say nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. Because my daughter told me that every time we tell you something, you catch your attitude. Oh,
Mm.
mm.
See? Yeah.
And then my wife said, "What is a boy putting his hands on her?" And she don't want to tell you because you don't catch your attitude.
Mm. See? Yeah. Yep.
So reality
Yep.
kicked in a little different. You know, my
Mm-hmm.
reality check was a little different. Like, okay, Dad, calm down. Listen to what these babies have to say because
Uh-huh.
it's very important. It's very important. Listen to what these babies have to say,
Mm-hmm.
and it been good. And they straight up with me. She straight up with me. They come up to me and be like, Dad, you know what? This is what I'm going on in school. This is what happening in school. This is what happening at work. This was happening every day in my life. So
Mm.
I like that, you know. Like I got a 20-year-old daughter come and talk to me about everything, but it makes me feel good because I'm there for her. Because it better me than somebody else leading it wrong, right?
There you go. There you go. That's the goal right there. So look, I wanted to talk about because I know that you're real passionate about cooking, and that's something that you have kind of made your livelihood. So I was curious to know, like, when did you start cooking? Were you cooking when you was a kid?
I started cooking in 96, 97,
Hmm.
but growing up in a home where everybody threw down, like grandma, auntie, my mom and them. And I had an auntie, she used to make everything. And one thing about this food she made, it tastes so good to a point I'm like, man, what she just do to this? This like this is amazing. Like I have to learn this. And
Hmm.
over time, I just I just started just creating recipes, you know.
Hmm.
Then I'm like, okay, I really don't really know how to do it, so let me go in the restaurant. So I started working in restaurants,
My first restaurant job was Burger King because I'm thinking I was gonna learn something there. But I did, but it wasn't what I was seeking. But I learned it though, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then went over to the Waffle House trying to learn how to do that. That wasn't my niche. It was cool, but it was cool. It was good for what it was.
Hmm.
Then Applebee's. That's where I
Hmm.
learned how to get down at Applebee's. Started off as a dishwasher, worked my way up.
Hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wait,
And
so because I was gonna ask, I was thinking, so nobody in your family actually taught you how to cook? You went to these restaurants and learned how to cook?
yeah,
What the damn? Okay.
yeah. I I always sat back and observed and
Hmm.
watched. And I looked at certain recipes, and I used to work in the mornings where they do the prep work, and they have the recipes of how to make this or how to make that or how to make this. And I would look over this and be like, okay, that's what a recipe looked like. Okay, that is what this
Mm-hmm.
looked like, you know, because growing up in the South, we didn't deal with too many computers and this and that, you know,
Yeah.
we didn't have what they have today, right?
Mm-hmm. And
So
grandma and them didn't write it down. They ain't even want you to
nobody wrote,
know.
nope, you weren't going to get the recipe. You weren't going to
You
really get
wanted to
nothing.
get the recipe.
You wouldn't get nothing from what they were trying to do. No, you joking, I'm going to do this one here. And they'll let
Yep.
you know. And they will sit you in the kitchen, and about time y'all be talking and everything, she already poured a little woo wop on you for whatever she needed to throw in the pot, and you didn't even see it, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So
Now.
just different restaurants, man, like and I started
Hmm.
restaurant hopping from a seafood restaurant to a steakhouse to a barbecue restaurant to a gourmet restaurant, just food hopping, just learning different recipes and making it my own.
Mm. Okay, so that brings me to the the um the competition you was just in, like the favorite chef competition. How did you even become a part of that?
Okay, now when COVID hit, everything went crazy, right? Everybody,
Hmm.
we all experienced that. And I started these Zoom cooking classes during COVID, and a lot of people who was doing it was following me on social media. We're like, "Oh man, this competition come up. You should be a part of this competition."
Hmm.
I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Like, bro, y'all tripping, bro. Like, I'm just a little caterer or whatever. And this lady out of Napa said, "No, I'm gonna enter you into this competition. I want you
Hmm.
to be in this competition. I think you have the talent to do what you need to do in this competition." And she do the same thing. She do the cooking classes, but she just do hers on YouTube. I do mine Zoom live, right? We
Yeah.
cooking together.
Hmm.
So I entered into the competition. I made it to the almost the semifinal round, and I was second place. I was first place the whole 3 4 months, and I went second place. And the second place didn't make it, but I finished second place before the semifinal round.
Okay.
And and it was just based off votes. It was based off votes. I didn't go in to win. If I would have won, thank you. But I went in just to get the experience, right?
There you go.
Because you dealing with chefs all over the nation. It was everybody from the East Coast, the South, West Coast, Midwest. It was a lot of people in different categories. But for me, it just gave me a lot of exposure. A lot of exposure. We went on Good Day Sacramento promoting it. We went on ABC Channel 10 promoting it. And it was a success, like we got a lot of jobs behind it. I got a lot of social media followers on Instagram behind it. So it was good.
Yeah, it
Different
did what it was supposed
chefs.
to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to ask, like, even because I understand, like, just being on a platform like that, sometime winning doesn't really matter if you do your thing because everybody's watching, right? So
Yes.
you would say your overall experience, it was like a great experience.
To me, I won.
There you
I got
go.
it. I got exposure. I got
Mm-hmm.
exposure. People know me from other states now.
Hmm.
A lot of chefs they reached out to me like, if it ever open, you come and visit my restaurant, or whatever. So A lot of them tried my seasonings. So it been big, like it been good for me. It been good for D's word of mouth.
There you go. So speaking of D's word of mouth, talk to everybody about your catering service and like what type of things do you offer?
Okay, our catering business, we're barbecue and soul food in Friendswood, California, the down south in Cali, mixed it together because
Mm-hmm.
Cali, they health conscious, so
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna make some move, you got to make sure that you're reaching all kind of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we provide drop-offs, pickups, um, private section, intimate section, personal, just to come in being your personal chef. Basically, whatever you basically, I'm here for my guests. I don't treat people as customers. I treat them as guests because you're part of me now. Doing your whole journey, you're part of me.
Hmm.
Let's get this done. Whatever you need, we're gonna make it happen. I understand it's a money-based business, but I'm just here to help you. Like, if you don't have it, we don't do this whole big shebang to go over your budget, but we're gonna make it one beautiful thing. You don't trust me. We're gonna do what we need to do to make your event wonderful.
There you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the last thing I'm going to talk to you about, and you just mentioned it, talk to me about your seasonings. Like you made your own seasonings?
Yeah, I made my own seasoning. It called D's Word of Mouth Seasoning. We made it during COVID.
Hmm.
Made it during COVID. What the crazy thing about it is, it took me 3 months to make this. I couldn't sleep. I'm up and down. Try some stuff. No, that ain't right. Try this here. No, that ain't right. Throw it away. Try it again. Waking up 2, 3 in the morning, 1 or 2 in the morning, trying to get this right.
Hmm.
Missing something. Go back to the drawing board. Go back. And then one night, in the middle of the night, got up, tried it again. I seen it before it happened. I've been having these visions, so I've been kind of chasing my visions. Like, if I see it in my sleep, I get up. I'm going to write it down. I'm going for it, right? And then that day I made it, my wife said, "Oh, that's it.
Hmm.
That's it. Did you write it down?" I said, "Yes, I wrote it down." Then we started converting it into bigger portions, and that still was it. And right now we have went crazy for selling bottles. We sold a lot of bottles. A lot of people have supported. I gave a lot away just to put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I give a little 4-ounce sample away, just
Mm-hmm.
to put it out there because we have big plans for it here in the near future, right? I'm trying to get it in restaurants. I'm trying to get it to restaurants. I have a few restaurants I'm gonna meet when I go to Reno in Vegas to see can I promote it there. So
Mm-hmm.
just out there, just pushing around. A lot of people like come up with the next one. I'm like, oh, just hold tight for a second. It's coming. Let me get this one
Yeah,
where I
yeah.
need it because some people they have 5 or 6 different ones popping off,
Mm-hmm.
and I applaud them for it. Just this one trying to get it to where it needs to be. It's just it's tough, man. Like you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. But I have a lot of people who buy it from me. A lot of people, and they love it. They love it, like constantly love it. They're like, "Man, you need bigger bottles." I'm like, "I got this big old 16 ounce. That ain't big enough." So, but it been a blessing in the journey for making it. Like I applaud. Yes.
That's good, man. That's good. And even just seeing like whenever you would talk about cooking, right? I can tell that it was like a passion of yours. And that's one of the biggest things that I try to promote on my platform. Like me and you was talking about earlier, too many of us are stuck in this hamster wheel where we find a job, may not even like the job as much, but we need money. We just doing that. We have these little ideas about things we can do with ourselves, but for whatever reason, we don't do it. You know what I mean? And I be telling people, you don't want to be an old person with regrets. I think
Man,
everybody needs something for themselves. Like everybody needs to work. So get a job, do what you got to do, but cook something. Like do some art, Like, work out. Like, find something for yourself. If you don't want to go crazy out here, you got to find something for yourself. And some people say, well, my thing is raising kids. And I'm like, that's dangerous, because they're going to grow up.
And they're going to leave you. They definitely going to leave you.
You know what I mean? And you're going to need something that's just yours, something that gets you up in the middle of the night. You see what I'm saying? Everybody needs some kind of passion.
My biggest thing is when COVID hit, and it probably be for a lot of people, and a lot of people might not speak on it, but we was unprepared. We was unprepared. Like, job shutting down, we depended on these people. You know, like, we depended on these people. Job shutting down. Bro, we was unprepared. So you know what I did? I'm building my own table.
There you go.
I'm building my own table. I'm putting my own chairs at my own table.
There you go.
Putting my chairs at my own table because that was scary.
It was.
That was
scary.
You
know what I mean? Yeah, they closing down your job. They closing down the church. You can't go. You can't go praise. You ain't doing nothing.
You cannot do nothing. So what I did was I said, Lord, if it do open up, whatever you choose to do with it, I'm gonna be ready when the world open up. We building a cookbook. The cookbook will be out very soon. But in my cookbook is all the Zoom classes that I have done for us cooking. We have merchandise. I have my own T-shirts. I'm the brand. These word of mouth. We got everything out popping during this time because COVID was good to us. It taught us different avenues to go down and stay afloat. You know.
There you go.
Didn't have to close down. Kept me grinding. Kept me in the middle of the night. Kept me thinking like, oh, what's the next move? How can we reach these people without going to these people, you know? So, but build your own table. If you have the opportunity to build your own table, make your side hustle make more money than your regular job if you do have a regular job. I ain't saying just jump and stop and quit your regular job. I ain't telling you that. But have a plan like, oh, I got 5 years or 4 years to do this on this regular job. But at the same time, it's 5 or 4 years. Then my side hustle, I'm pushing just as hard as I going. Same way I want to be at that regular job, doing what I do for them. I'm doing the same thing for my side hustle, even more.
And that's the thing. Sometimes we don't realize how hard we work for other people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
How much time and effort we really building somebody else's business. We really turning somebody up top into a millionaire, and you putting in your 60 hours a week. You know what I mean?
And that's one reason why I made me start my catering business. I'm working at all these different restaurants, and I'm getting all these people money. I'm pushing all this food out for these people. And these people come out here praising me and applauding me and like, D, thank you. D, we just did a 2,000-3,000 hour. And I'm like, bro, why can't I do that for myself?
There you go.
Bro, why can't I? I'm cooking the food. You gave me the recipe, but that's fine. I can make my own recipe and tweak it and push it out the same way you did it, right? You know, what make you better than me? Not saying that I'm in competition with you, but I'm your workhorse. Why can't I be that for myself?
You know what I mean?
Why can't I push that for myself?
And that takes courage to step out on faith and be courageous, because a lot of us are providing a skill to a company that we really don't need them. Like, you can do that same shit on your own, and you may have to build it. So there are building blocks in adversity and setbacks, but that's just life. You know what I mean?
Accept the failures. Accept the setbacks. All this, everything we do is designed for failure, and that's okay. Because you know why? You don't make the same mistake twice. You get up, realize what you did wrong, and you keep moving. When I first started my business, I didn't make no money in my first 7-8 years. But I'm paying all this money out in fees and state licenses, border equalization, you know, Safe, $200, over $2,000 a year, insurance, my $2 million insurance I have. I pay a lot of money out every year and wasn't making no money. But I didn't shut it down. I didn't give up on my dream. I kept pushing my dream.
Man, and that's what I be thinking all the time. With all the stuff that I'm doing and trying to be an entrepreneur and trying to be a creative person, this is new for me. You know what I mean? But the one goal I told myself is the one thing I can't do is stop.
No.
As long as I keep going in the right direction, eventually I'm gonna land where I want to land. But this world don't condition me to want to keep going because most of the people around me, they on a rat race. They working somewhere. So sometimes I want to talk to somebody like, hey, how did you? That's why I try to find networks of people who do some of the stuff that I do because most of the people around me, not to their detriment, but they work. So if
Yes.
somebody working and you trying to create something, it's difficult for them to see your vision. You know what I mean?
And that's why I don't talk my vision with people who not on the same platform as me.
There you go.
Not saying that I'm better than them, but they won't understand.
And they'll knock your shit too. And they'll be like, that don't make no
Exactly.
sense. What you mean? Why you gonna do that? I'm like, oh, see, that's not what I needed to hear.
So I seen the meme says surround yourself by people who doing the things that you're doing.
Simple as that.
And so that's why I surround myself around chefs that trying to get off the ground, that's trying to push their way, or already been in the game, just to get advice, listen to their failures, because everybody had to start somewhere, and everybody didn't come out successful.
Yep.
Everybody, you might have the money, but you probably lost a lot of it and failed a lot before you got to where you need to be. So that's who I surround myself around. Like, I'm a social guy and I like to be social with people, but we won't talk business because you won't understand where I'm trying to take this, right? But I have met a lot of good people along the way.
Your phone's breaking up, D.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It don't have to be about food. It could be about anything. Anything for his business, I'm there. It could be the stock market, anything about pushing to the next level, setting ourselves up together, partnership, whatever. I'm all about that. But I don't speak that with everybody though.
Well, and that's the thing, right? I think even being like a black man in this society, I'm realizing that when I get into a circle of men, for the most part, they only talking about a couple things.
Yes.
It's either gonna be sports, it's gonna be women sometime.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, and I love basketball. I grew up playing basketball, but I'm at a different level of mentality now. I don't give a fuck about the score. Like, I don't care about, I'll watch it and I'll entertain, but I don't really want to talk about that. I'd rather talk about a book I read. I'd rather talk about my platform and what I'm trying to do, because we're getting older. You know what I mean? And time ain't on nobody's side. You don't know what, you know what I mean?
And that's another thing. I've been surrounding myself by audiobooks. I've been reading this thing called Extreme Ownership. This book about extreme ownership, and then it teaches us about leadership. And so I've been trying to, just less TV and more about that, more about success.
There you go.
More about moving forward of how to get this, creating cash flow, assets, not liabilities, Like
there you go.
You said, we in our 40s. We don't know what tomorrow brings or what our 50s look like, but I'm building to it. I'm building.
There you go.
So I can set my family up or my kids up with something. If I don't finish it, at least they know this is what started. I write things down, and this is what you finished for me, or this is what you finished for your family. Start that generational wealth. That's what I mostly be on. Folks be like, man, you crazy. What you talking about that for? Bro,
you better talk about it. That Social Security probably ain't gonna be there for us. That's what they're saying.
They told me I'd be 72 years old before I get mine, bro. You know what I'm gonna do with that? 72? What am I gonna do? $800? What am I gonna do with that?
Yep.
But I'm not relying on the system no more.
There you go.
God give me my health and strength. He'd have brought me this far. Even from when I didn't have nothing to now, man, I could go and get whatever we could go and get whatever we want. Fear, it give me motivation.
There you go.
I'm just gonna get out there. One thing about it, somebody will see me.
You never know who watching.
So
you never know who watching.
Might notice me too. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's go for it.
Yep.
But it's no more being scared no more. It ain't no more being scared. No.
There you go.
No. We ain't no kids no more. Let's go for it.
There you go. Well, D man, I appreciate you coming on my platform, brother. I knew you would have a lot to share. I just love speaking to people who are passionate about stuff so we can inspire other people to take on whatever their journey may be. And it can be whatever, you know what I mean? But like internally, you have to seek to be happy internally. Like
Yes.
sometimes people rely on other people to make them happy or things to make them happy, like try to accumulate things, and none of this really does anything. That's why like you was just saying, cutting off the TV and reading a book. Like you gotta use your entire brain. Sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
get caught up in watching entertainment, watching videos, watching all this type of stuff that ain't gonna teach you shit. Like
No,
you
man.
gotta keep on learning. Like
It's all
school is
right.
over,
It's
but it
all
ain't
right.
over.
No,
You know
it
what I
ain't over.
mean? You
Yeah.
gotta always keep on learning, bro. So I appreciate you coming on my platform. Tell everybody if they wanted to get some of your seasoning or if they need a catering job done, how can they reach out to you?
All right. You can go to my website at www.dwomcatering.com, or you could go to Instagram at dwomcatering, and you could click on the link tree in my bio, and I have everything listed there from the website to my seasonings to my merch. Everything is there.
Got
Or
it.
you can
Got
call
it.
me at 916-832-7713. I'm always open for a phone call or chat or something.
There you go. There you go, brother. Well, I thank you, man, for coming on my platform and discussing everything you do. And we're going to keep in touch. And I'm going to tell everybody, I'm going to continue to tell everybody about your catering service and your seasonings. And when you make more seasonings, I'll make sure to talk about it on my show. I just appreciate everything you're doing, brother. Thank
It's
you
a
for coming on
blessing,
the
bro.
platform today.
It's a very blessing. Thank you so very much. Man, you a cool dude, man. I love you, man, But thank you, man. I appreciate you so very much. You have a blessed rest of your night.
You too, brother. Thank you.
All right now.
All right.